Welcome back to a little update video. We are talking today about AMC, BYND, DJT, GNS, Canopy, and PLTR. If you're interested, just as always, I'm using the Fractal method. Explanation video and rules I will link at the end of the video. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. And as always, today just the small update what we have done today. For the bigger one, I will link you the big update video at the end. So let's zoom in. And what a shocker, we didn't squoze today. Yeah. The thing is, I'm saying that I think since weeks already. We always, 2021, 2024, 2025, before we did the squeeze, every fucking time we did a higher low. Every fucking time. We didn't a higher low last week. So for me, it was nearly 100%. There was no chance for a squeeze today. Yeah. And if you're not brain fucked and think that this is the same like this, it should be also clear for you. Yeah. But we got a fucking nice bounce today. So there's a pretty big possibility that this was our V. So for today, I have for you one extremely bullish version, normal bullish version, and also a bearish alternative. For the absolute stupid fucking bullish version, we are now doing the higher low. Yeah? That means till Wednesday, yeah, we're going up. Yeah? Or maybe we're already finishing this tomorrow. Yeah? In that case, my level for the peak of the higher low would be something around 145 to maximum 163. Yeah? Something in this range for the peak of the higher low. If you're breaking over this trend line and slowly going up here, in my opinion, something is wrong. Yeah, because a higher low isn't allowed to go that high. Yeah, and if you're slowly grinding up, it's something else. Yeah, it wouldn't be the pattern before a squeeze. Yeah, but for normal tracking, something in this range. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the peak, and then the rest of the week till Friday, you're falling back, and you have to hold this over the low of today. Yeah, which is also nice. What we did today, it was just a wick down, no double bottom. Yeah, same like for our main V in March. Yeah, it's not so important for the A pullback. Yeah. Only the absolute V has to be a single wick, but it's at least nice to see. In that case, well, if we're closing this Friday somewhere here, I know I said last time, then it's Monday. I forgot that on Monday the stock market is closed. But okay, who cares? Then it's the 26th, Tuesday, first day of the trading week. I think also 2021 was a short week. Yeah. One thing, before we go into the second version, if you tomorrow doing this, yeah, that's not big enough. If we come to that, if we do this, let's talk about it right now. If you fall back tomorrow to this would be just a micro higher low and A, B, C and pull back. Yeah, just saying. We need it's a normal size higher low. It's just something like this. No. Yeah. So the normal bullish version would be you're running up. I mean, today we ran 11%. From this to this was 11%. So this is possible till Wednesday. But if you run till Friday to whatever top we get here and we close on Friday here, I would still, my main tracking would still be, okay, this is still the top of the higher low. In that case, especially because short weeks, like next week, normally are bearish, I would say the whole next week you fall to your higher low. Yeah. I know then May is over. In that case, it's, in my opinion, okay. Then we're just doing it in the first week of June. Yeah. But I'm not moving the goalpost further. Yeah. We are running out of time. Now to the bearish version. And I know that especially if you have a position, especially if you're sitting in this position for a very long time, some people don't like to hear it, don't want to believe it, don't even want that they exist. Yeah? But I try to provide for every stock an alternative. Yeah? Except Neo and Riot, because there I just have no alternative, and hopefully I'm right. Yeah, but otherwise I try to present in any stock an alternative. For AMC, the alternative is an asshole move, because also the alternative would go up. Also the alternative would have the same peak levels. The difference for the alternative is that this would be a T. And the difference for the alternative is that we are not holding the higher low and would drop under that. And that would be fucking bearish. If we do that this Friday or next Friday, we are out of time. In that case, in my opinion, this was also just T, and it's over for 2026. In that case, you won't knife to all-time low, as I explained in the last video. You will go down, will bounce, and slowly till end of the year, you will grind down. Yeah. Shitty part about this is you will go under the all-time low. My target would be 80 to 30 cents. Then, especially, of course, it's time, because next target would be January, May again, 2027. And at these lows, the risk of a reverse split is there again. So if you go up, after that you break this V of today again, that would be fucking bearish. Yeah, just saying. One last thing. If we tomorrow, why ever, suddenly doing a pullback, a massive one. Yeah, let's say we drop tomorrow to 123. That's not that bad, because this would be then just small t, yeah, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. As long as we're bouncing then tomorrow or Wednesday, something in this range, this would be just normal V, also normal V from the A pullback, and then you start with your higher low. But if we do that, I already can tell you in the moment we break tomorrow this V, it's not next week, because then most likely we'll run till Friday or maybe even till Tuesday up, and the rest of next week you will fall to the higher low. Yeah? But it wouldn't be end of the world. But if you running till this Friday or Thursday, whatever, up here, and then you break down, that would be shit. Yeah, would be really shit. We have a time frame. I'm not moving the goalpost over June. Yeah, it's the same like 2025, 2024, 2023. Yeah, we're running out of time. Before we're jumping into AMC SOL, the thing is, cause looks fucking great. Still holding levels, perfect. GME bounced today, but the same thing I said in the last video. It has to start moving. Yeah, GME 2021, 2024, 2025 were running already before AMC was finished with its higher low. Yeah, in the moment AMC was, I think, somewhere in here. Yeah, in this up run, GME really start running. Yeah, and then in the peak, they synchronized, the same which I showed in the last video. So GME, for fuck's sake, it has to start going. It's the only negative point from all these three synchronized stocks. It has to do something. Good. Then, because someone wished it, we look into AMC SOL. So here's AMC SOL. For people who don't know what that is, there is an AMC coin and a GME coin. Both were invented or started in January 2024. They are crypto. They are not really moving with crypto. They are moving more with the underlying stocks. So AMC SOL moving more with AMC, and the GME coin, of course, moving more with GME. So January 2024, you went up. You didn't saw really AB. Then you had a slow downtrend, a lower high, midpoint T, V. Important part here is the V was in April 2024. And after that, you did 2 higher lows. One small one, one bigger one. We will look at that in a second. And then on the Sunday before AMC and GME ran in May 2024, it started because it's crypto. Also, no A, no B. Then C, lower high, midpoint. And for the bullish tracking, you already got your T. And your V was Sunday, March 29th. The important part here is we are already, in my opinion, doing the first higher low. Yeah? This one would be comparable to this one. So we still need one last bigger higher low. Yeah? So in that case, we still need one last bigger higher low. This is easily done till Sunday because it's also running Saturday, Sunday, or you maybe really need till next week, Friday. The only thing AMC SOL isn't allowed to do is touching or breaking the low of March. Because if you do that, this becomes your T. And that would be fucking bearish. Yeah. Not because of price, because of time. Because then you would still, in the best case, have to do this. And this is a lot of price action still for this. It wouldn't match. The only problem I really have with this, it isn't also not really matching with 2027. Because whatever, even with the bearish version, this is still T. There is no landmark after that. This is not M, in my opinion. Can't be. This has to be T. But after T, you just get a knife, a higher low, or in this case, 2 higher lows, and then you go. To do this for 6, 8, 9 months, till 2027, January or May, I mean, if there's absolutely no volume, okay, possible, nothing is impossible, but it would be strange. So this looks also bullish, just saying. So let's see. Good. Next one is BYND. So for the big tracking, I will link the big video again at the end. Today we just look what we have done today. So let's zoom in. So sadly for BYND, the peak on Friday wasn't the peak of the higher low. The peak of Friday was just small T. And I'm talking the small T of the A pullback here. So it's not doom and gloom. Still looks good. Yeah. There are 2 ways. First, we go on lower time frames. Let's look at 30 minutes now. Let's look at the 5 minute. First, you could say this is your little C, L, M, not this, yeah, M, and somewhere in here is your T. Yeah, isn't looking right, but okay. Then you could say this was already your V, your micro high low, and you would go up. Yeah? Or this is your T and you still have one more drop because you have to do something during the week. Yeah, it micro checking. Yeah, still okay, everything fine. As long, and this was my level all the time, you are not touching 70 cents. It's still my level. Why I don't want to break 70 cents. I already argued with a colleague today because in his opinion, it's 69 cents. Okay. Yeah. For me, it's not, because if you break the 786, which is sitting at 70.80, you're getting into problems. I will show that in a second. But okay, we are arguing here about 2 cents. Yeah, 70 or 69, 2 cents. So whatever, okay? But if you break 68 cents, if you want hopium, 68 cents and this play is over. As long as you're not doing that, you maybe need one more drop and then you should fucking go. Just saying, still looks good. So the alternative, and really, I know, same like AMC, yeah. I'm always trying to present alternatives for a reason. Not to being right. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not sitting here and edgy bitch. I was right. I will never do that. Yeah. But just to have an idea if it's not going our bullish way, the fractal is only showing you the way. There can be a bullish and a bearish way. The fractal, only because you have a bullish version, that doesn't mean there is no bearish way. If you break levels, you're doing the bearish way. For BYND, this A, it can bounce at 0.5, 0.618. Doesn't matter if it's bouncing over it, at it, under it. Same for the 618. Yeah, over it, at it, under it. Doesn't matter. That's all fine. The only thing which A is not allowed to do is touching or breaking the 786 fib. And to make that clear, yeah, because I also got the question, I am looking my charts most of the time, especially when I show it to you, on logarithmic. Yeah? If you're looking, and I also tested without, but just saying, but if you look at logarithmic, you have to go into the settings of your fib retracement. Down here is an option, fib levels based on log scale. If you look charts at logarithmic, this has to be checked. Otherwise, look at the fib here, you get wrong fibs. Yeah, if you see that. Only if you look at charts without log, this has to be unchecked. Yeah, just saying. So, if A isn't allowed to go under the 786, if we do that, that can't be A anymore. The only landmark which is allowed to do that is a C, which we clearly are not in a C, or a higher low. The problem for a higher low is a higher low isn't going over T, and especially not near M. Yeah. So if this is not higher low, not A, what is this? Well, the next letter you could use is T. But also T isn't going so near to M normally. So in the worst case, this is your M. The M of this higher low, this one, this M would go here. And the whole card house would crash with this move. Because the main problem is not only time. The main problem is if this is M, your M started here. In that case, you have to go lower than this. You're not breaking all-time high, all-time lows now, still. Maybe you get a little bounce. Then this would be T. And then for 100% you break all-time lows. Even that wouldn't be the worst thing. But the problem is, if you do that, our macro higher low is wrong. Because it's not a higher low anymore. And this macro higher low would become T. Then it doesn't matter anymore which price you are looking for here. The main problem here is you would do your V, and then you have to do your macro higher low, and then you can go up. This version is 100% not this year anymore. This will take fucking time. And the main problem with this is down there will be already talks about a reverse split again. Yeah. So in my opinion, if you break 70 cents or for hopium 68 cents, yeah, this play is over for this year. Over. Right now, still looks okay. This would be the last pullback. We still have plays here. It's okay. but for fuck's sake, bounce. Yeah. And if we bounce, old tracking, nothing changed. We do something quick and stupid, or we're going slowly. Main target is still macro A between 15 and 43 dollars for July, August. But for fuck's sake, you have to bounce. Okay, good. Then a negative example, DJT. My negative example, because it broke today. Yeah. But to say this, for the macro tracking, and I'm talking about the macro tracking, nothing changed. Yeah. Still okay. Price target, everything the same, but time, yeah, is changing, especially because the micro tracking broke. What I mean with that, our previous tracking, or previous from the last video, was still that this was our beautiful higher low. And to say that, it was a beautiful higher low. You had a V, micro higher low, A, B, C, L, M, D, perfect. It was beautiful. With this break today, this is not higher low anymore. End of story. It doesn't matter if it's only a wick. Higher low is a higher low. So this becomes just micro T. Yeah. I sold my position here today with this break. Yeah, because it's now time. The thing is, we don't have anything down here. That's new all-time low. No resistance level, nothing. Nothing is down here. So this could be already our V. Maybe not. Nobody can tell you that. The only confirmation for this is we still have to do now the higher low. Yeah, so if this is the V, we have to do this shit again. This will take some time. Yeah, I will still track it. Yeah, but as long as I don't see here a higher low is forming, I'm out of this stock. Sadly, it looked perfect, but yeah, we just have to wait. That's a negative example, for example. That's why I said always have an alternative. There is no if this then that. You broke this level. So for the short future, it's over. Good. Next one, similar thing, Canopy. So for Canopy, it didn't broke yet. Yeah, so it's still okay, but we are fucking close. Yeah. Also here, it isn't changing the macro tracking, but it could add some time. Yeah? I mean, this is the stock which the tracking looks perfect, and I also showed the how you could play it. Yeah. For January, nothing is lost yet. Yeah. But the main problem for Canopy right now is this drop here, because in our old tracking, which is still valid till today, yeah, is here's our T, here's our V, and this would be A, similar to BYND. Yeah, but with this drop, if you look, you are so fucking close that this isn't working anymore. We bounced today 1 cent over the level where it would have been over. It's still okay. If you bounce here, it's still okay. Otherwise, if you drop under 96, this can't be A anymore. In that case, again, it would be T. It's not that bad like what would happen with BYND, because you still have then, you will break this low here, you will break 84, but you can still bounce in this area here. Still possible. Yeah. And then do your higher low and go. If you also break 76, yeah, well then this is T, not higher low, and you add just more time. But the main tracking is still working, but in this case it would be just adding time. So for Canopy, fucking bounce here, then nothing changed. If you're not bouncing here, your next level to bounce is between 83 and 77. If you're not bouncing here, you add more time. But in that case, because we are so fucking close, I would still see 2026. Yeah. But not summer anymore. Yeah. but it's not looking that bad. Yeah, BYND, for example, would kill whole 2026. Good. Next one is GNS, and GNS is standing in front of death. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the whole tracking today. We just look at this one, but I made it absolutely clear since the first day I was showing it. Our bullish tracking, our all-time low was April 2025. Since then, we're doing higher low. And I said I bought here in March for 30 cents. And I said my stop loss is at 20 cents. And the reason for that is also here, if like DJT, if you're breaking this higher low, this becomes T. But for GNS in that case, if you break this and this becomes T, in my opinion, you will go under 10 cents. And that's death. Because there's the rule, going under 10 cents for 10 trading days, not calendar days, but trading days, you are instantly delisted. There is no additional 180 days like if you go under $1. No, there is nothing. 10 days under 10 cents and you are gone. And for GNS, that means 100% of reverse split. They have to, or they don't care, and go OTC. That's why it's okay still, but I mean, you are 2 cents away. Just saying, my stop loss still stands at 20 because I could still see a bounce here. Higher, low, and go. But we are coming close. Yeah? And I really have to say closer than I like it, but not uncommon. But let's see. Let's see. And last one, because it was switched, Palantir. So for Palantir, I have to say, I have bullish and bearish version, but to make that absolutely clear, for this year, they are both bearish. Yeah. What I mean with that, it's a quite nice fractal. It's a little bit young, but it's quite nice. You had your all-time low in December 2022. You did a nice higher low, A, B. The A and the B have no fib pullbacks. You don't even have to try it. That's one of the stocks where you don't have fib pullbacks. Then, in my opinion, you still got your all-time high. And I think you already did your lower high. So in my opinion, especially for levels, if you touch or break 122, you will go lower. Will do your M, T, and so on and so on. For a bullish alternative, which I wouldn't have any reason for it, if you go over 199, I have to say, okay, bullish. In that case, before we go into main tracking, I would say you're right now, IPO-wise, here. Yeah. I mean, you would still have to come lower a little bit, but then you could still do a new top. But to make that absolutely clear, it doesn't changing that you're looking for a C. If it's now this, or if it's sitting at, let's say, 350, whatever, isn't changing the fact it's still a C. This isn't becoming a B suddenly. Yeah, this is the C or a little bit higher, but it's near the top. So we don't know what this here is. This could be an A, a B, a C, or a higher low. Yeah. So for fibs, first target to bounce would be the 0.5, $36. Then this whole thing is a macro B. You can bounce, go to your macro C. If you're not bouncing here, your next target is 23, the 618. If you bounce here, it's just an A and the stock getting really big. If you're not bouncing there, your next level is the 786 at $12. Then this is a C or a higher low. Yeah, pretty as that. And to say that, I don't think, I mean, we have, maybe we could say this could be an example, but it won't be something like this. Yeah, It will come down, up for AM, even more down, up to a T, higher low, and so on. Yeah. The news for that, in my opinion, would be PLTR software company. The main contractor of PLTR is Ukraine. They are using that for their whole military. So Russia really wants to end this war. Doesn't matter if they want to end it or if they do peace talks. Doesn't matter. And in that case, if it's done, PLTR is losing the biggest contractor. And that with a bearish Fractal right now would make absolutely sense. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I hope I didn't forget anything today. As always, explanation video here, playlist here, the big update video back here, there. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, leave an abo. And let's see what we will do the rest of the week. See ya.